on defense. They're going to be rolling out with the expected once again with those dive tanks with the two long-range supports playing in the far back corner, and then you're going to have the Doomfist and the Sombra in the front just causing havoc.
It was a bit of a meme week 3. The Hanamura defense with Doomfist Sombra that literally did nothing on point A, regardless of what team played it. And I remember
it was the cursed week.
It was the cursed week of Sombra Doomfist point A defense, right?
Didn't we see the overtime where it went to like 4th or 5th defense though, and it full held? I think that was Giganti.
It did, yes, but like out of the amount of attempts there were, it didn't have a high success rate.
Well, Bazooka Puppiez running out something a little bit different as well. I was going to say I was really excited for a second then when I saw him dart off the screen to the left. I thought, oh, he's actually going for it. But no, it's going to change back over. They're playing, again, this triple support with the Sombra, with the double dive tanks. Again, Sombra dive. Yep.
You get through that gate. Get through the choke, and they've done that. No contest at the moment. And wonder where Graceful is. He's at the back with that Doomfist. Target the rocket for lunch. He wants to go for it. He did tank a right click there. Really deterred him from moving in. He wanted to stay a little bit healthier before he commits to diving into the middle of 6 members.
It's a big no thank you from me. You can already see that focus from Saab coming in onto the Graceful, just trying to keep him pinned down and stop him doing anything. And so far, Graceful has yet to put those fists to use and actually hit anything because he's just playing so safely at the very back.
He doesn't know when to commit, when he can do it safely. He has destabilized the stealth that was coming out from Tracker, who's jumping into the roster this time around. Able to play on that Sombra. Graceful, off to the side, still not committing with it. Goes in on Crown Drop, knocks him against the back wall, uppercut. No seismic slam to follow up. While this is going on, there is a nano boosted tonic running around somewhere. But Graceful goes in with a seismic slam, misses it. Even misses the uppercut as well. Off to the side. 75% though, so he is building that ult charge ready to go. Track's got a D-mech, but he's been taken off the map by some nice shots from Gustav. He's going down low, he's getting that shield back. And Graceful, this is probably the slowest paced Doomfist I've seen all season.
You're not wrong. It's a much more safer conservative style, something that we normally see from Leaf, for example, where you save most of your abilities to actually get out of the fight, and you're just on disruption, but that EMP is certainly going to disrupt things.
Jumps in with the hack, there's nothing Graceful can do. He's going to go down, so Ding. Sooner taking that Crown Drop after we got a double kill, but this is the opening for Bazooka Puppiez, and nice placement from Track there to all but guarantee himself that point A capture.
And there you go, the EMP sometimes is all it takes, those seconds of downtime the enemy team has where they're literally sitting ducks, their shields are gone, they've got no abilities, no mobility, they're basically stuck and you can walk through them. 6 minutes on the clock for Bazooka Puppiez though, a 2-minute cap. Certainly not one to frown about, I don't think, but now they've got to try and turn it into a victory. Not the easiest thing as we've seen from previous weeks on Hanamura.
They forced out a very early primal rage from Tonic there because they were just going to kill him. And if they had the momentum there in their favor, they could have just rolled over, and Tonic identified that. It does burn a primal rage where it could be useful to stall out later on. Now it moves on to Tonic, and he's going to force out Transcendence from Sab this time around. So Bazooka Puppiez on the offense, able to get in there and make use of an ultimate that was ultimately forced against their own will. But Crandop finding another kill. Self-destruct put onto the point by Danny. He's going to be thinking about Crandop after he was D-mech. They're doing well to clear the space and keep everyone off the point. You can see Crandop going for the spawn entrance as he slept there by Mr. Ding. Going to keep him off the point as Sooner. Going to get those kills to Crown Drop. This is Young and Beautiful using their spawn advantage and taking back control of point B.
Really smart from Crown Up there at the start as well, because as soon as he saw the ultimate come out of Danny, he jumped in the air and actually killed him before he could get back into his own mech after he'd landed. Then managed to keep himself safe by landing on top of the kind of little wooden area above the point, I suppose you could say. Did get himself slept though. Yeah, the arch, good one to call it. Then found himself getting slept, get immediately hacked, then get gatted down by the Sombra. A bit unfortunate, but still a nice acknowledgement of that play that he did make. But now Sooner's got hold of his own EMP, and we've all seen what happens. We all saw first point of this map. Generally, EMP goes only one way, but Tracker's got his online as well. It's going to turn into a bit of a who uses EMP first or who manages to jump in and disrupts the EMP with their own EMP.
It's the weird Venn diagram of Sombra EMPs about who's going to be affected by what in what area. Do you have control now because of the EMPs? How quickly do they come in afterwards? Did you shut down the Sombra with your own EMP? So many variables go into that single interaction and can affect so much about how the fight goes. Crown Drop, coming on the back line, he slept. Oosh. What's been affected by Crown Drop dying? Well, the Bazooka Puppiez have to put everything on pause for now.
Pull back, pull back. They all scream into their microphones, and Track, again, still holding on to that EMP. In fact, all their ultimates are online, so Puppy's doing the sensible thing here, I think, and you'll see a lot of teams do this where you go into a fight with the intent of using no ultimates. Normally your aim is to either build ult charge or force the enemy team to expend their own ultimates. Because the big thing that will stop Bazooka Puppiez here when they have all 6 ultimates online is the Transcendence out of Gustav or the EMP coming out of Sooner. Potentially the self-destruct out of Danny as well is a really good space creator if they try and push in. You throw that in the air and suddenly they have to scatter, and their ults aren't as effective as they were before. But for Bazooka Puppiez, that's what they're going to be keeping an eye out for, is that trance.
In the corner. He's just cowering like, please don't notice me. Please don't notice me. And now he's got a high ground advantage. You can move into the side, get an EMP down as they move forward. putting himself over to safety. He's using it. He's got to get out of jail free card. He didn't land where he wants to, but he's still going to get away from the main fight. There's the nano boost, and here he comes in. Track using his own EMP to shut down any mobility. Mete in prime position to capitalize with that self-destruct onto Graceful. Crandop going to take out Tonic. Still got hold of those ultimates. Self-destruct going up in the air from Danny. There's no shields to keep everyone alive, so they have to take cover. What a right click from Sab before the remake comes in from Mr. Daniel. Nice take from Bazooka Puppiez. They're going to go over and force another offense, assuming Young and Beautiful can complete themselves.
That's the second time on that point where Danny used an ult pretty much entirely without a combo, just threw it in the air to try and create space and maybe catch someone. What I like to call a solo queue self-destruct in a lot of ways.
A Hail Mary.
Exactly, a Hail Mary. That's probably a better way of putting it. But then every single time he either came down from the air and went to get back into mech, he was picked off by the Trans, or by the Zen, or by Crandop on that Winston. It was just punished in both cases for using it without any team support around him. There wasn't any bubbles following through, obviously. No real support to keep him alive, and they got punished for it.
Patch 1.3b, Transcendence now deals damage to enemies in the area. Zen mains rejoice. Jonak now becomes unkillable.
Experience nothingness, experience death. This is what it's going to turn into. Well, Bazooka Puppiez, like you say, 3 minutes, 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Young and Beautiful now get their turn at the attack, and Bazooka Puppiez, again, did kind of expect this. They're not going to roll out, at least initially, with the Doomfist and the Sombra. Didn't really expect it to be the sort of thing they choose to roll out with, but they are going to roll out with the Symmetra, which I imagine they're going to use to put the supports up onto the high ground above the hut.
Good call, Des. I was going to say the exact same thing. Get them up there into relative safety, and then you can get yourself back to the point and look at changing it over. Of course, Cranks is on the loose show, so he can help facilitate that fast taxiing. Nice there. Nicely done. Gets them up there, and now they're going to be nice and safe.
Love how Metis like their guardian here, just like, go on, children, up on the high ground now. Come on. Saab, stop messing around on the high ground right now. You can do it. Come on, Saab, you can do it, mate.
The hired childminder.
The really nice thing about this comp is that you basically, if you're diving, it's super hard to actually make it onto that ground. D.Va can maybe get up there, but Winston might be just shy of it. So you can punish quite hard, and it's an alternative to playing in the back right corner, which is often where supports will play. Everyone has seen it now for seasons on end, and everybody knows how to respond to. This is a bit different, and we've only seen a few teams start doing it here in Europe.
Still winning with the Sombra Doomfist defense, but like you said, Des, very safe support line. Who's realistically going up there?
Graceful got in?
No, Graceful has not.
I think he's just slipped in.
Has he just slipped in somewhere? This is the problem with Sombra, is if we can't even tell when they've gone in, how's the enemy team?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he managed to get around the back here as well. Almost a one clip. Ooh, so close.
Won't get it because there is the recall, of course, from Track to get away. They're both in that zone. Hang on a minute. Graceful has been spotted by Cranks. He's been doom-fisted into oblivion, as Cranks is then going to take out Tonic as well. Move to the back line because he thinks he knows where Suna is. He's got a good read of it. Knows roughly the area, but nothing confirmed yet. And Suna's still running away.
I don't know why I have Bazooka Puppiez down as a team that doesn't play Sombra Doomfist, because there's literally Cranks on side, who is not so much a one-trick, but a huge Doomfist player. He played in the World Cup for Germany, and even there was a big Doomfist player.
Big Genji.
Exactly, that's his main go-to. But Doomfist is something that we saw him employ there, so not really surprised to see him bringing it out. Again, not quite sure why I forgot about that. But now it's Track, obviously on the Sombra as well. That's kind of one of the heroes in his repertoire, you might say.
Suna's found his way back to the area of fighting, and already Young and Beautiful found 2 kills without him, Cave and Saab. So those safe supports were just demolished from that high ground. Bazooka Puppiez going around. Here's a Nano Doomfist in the corner. Unlucky for Mr. Ding as he's going to be taken out, holding onto that nano boost as well.
The thing is, I think they already fled from that high ground initially because they got knocked off there when the initial attack came through from the Sombra, And although he died enough to force them off that high ground, they didn't have time to reset, so had to go and play the alternative corner.
Graceful taking out Track. Danny, of course, finding Crown Drop, so Bazooka Puppiez have been thoroughly cleared from the point. 2/3 of the pie, about to hit that final one. No one's in range to contest. That's point A going over to Bazooka Puppiez.
There we go, over to Young and Beautiful, you mean. 6 minutes and 9 seconds, that's about 2 or 3 seconds extra.
That is going over to Young and Beautiful.
It is, mate, yeah, the green team.
Green team.
2 or 3 seconds extra than what we saw coming out of Puppies on their attack. It did take them about 3 minutes to close things out last time round. So let's see if Young and Beautiful can try and match up to the same. They have got ultimates coming online. Graceful's just got that EMP just about activated, and they have traded off one of their DPS. Suna is now back across onto that Brigitte, and let's see what they can make happen with
Tonic.
that. Yep.
Back to the spawn room with you, Doomfist, being the person to ship him off.
It's going to
pay for the postage as well. Good stab. Taking out Track. Frank's going to retreat back in. EMP not hitting as many people as it should realistically from Graceful. But it does clear some space. Bazooka Puppiez retreated back. Crown Drop going down low, but not enough to get the kill. He's Crank's off to the side. He might look for the assassination here. He has got Meteor Strike, which we've seen a lot of Doomfist use defensively rather than offensively.
He's thinking about it, but realistically, you dive into a team like that where there's a Brigitte present.
We spotted Graceful that time. He did sneak in.
Yeah, you're going to get melted if you try and go too deep. But Graceful hasn't got his ultimate online, so now he's just here to play Destruction more than anything else.
Right, Nano Boost onto someone from Young and Beautiful. Frank's is there with the fist. Transcendence coming in to try and keep him up. He is getting healing from Cave, who's hiding around in the back. There's no Rocket Fist as he pushed them into the back line. Self-destruct's there, clearing space. Bubble will block most of the damage. Sooner did take out Sab while this is going on, so here's Tonic with the Primal Rage, stunned up, won't commit straight away. But Cave's isolated. He's going to get knocked off the map here if he's not careful. Sleep Dart baited out, and see you later. Take a long jump off that edge. Bazooka Puppies maintaining control, trying to shut this down, but Mete going to get D-Mech cranked. Got a biotic grenade on top of him, so he's not getting the healing that he needs. He's being denied. In fact, his Ding finds a double. Well, not really a double. He gets D-Mech and a kill onto Mete. Now he gets the double as he finally takes out Cranks, but Sub doing the exact same thing. Ding and Tonic going down, but Bazooka Puppies still burning more in this time bank. 4 minutes 25 left, the young and beautiful.
I literally wanted to say there, Tonic, turn around. You're looking the wrong way. Because while he was focusing on the tank in front of him, there was a Zen behind him, layering Discords orbs into him, and Crandop was not too far away in the Winston either. So he basically went down for free there without really paying attention to what was going on behind him. He was too focused on the tank in front of him, I think, which ultimately was his downfall because they didn't even manage to bring that tank down in the first place. But Graceful has got that ultimate online. There we go, straight in with the EMP.
Well, Crandop's going to go down, and they also see that he's got an ult in his pockets. That's a big victory there for young and beautiful. What can they do with the rest of this opportunity they created for themselves? That's the problem. Sound barrier coming in, but Bazooka Puppies are smart enough to hide. Cranks jumps into the middle of them with the Meteor Strike. This Tonic is going to get beaten up a little bit more. He had the biotic grenade on top of him to deny that healing, but can't commit to the kill. Still kept very low. Nice right click as he takes out Track. Track did manage to find Tonic before that happened, so he balanced it out. Spawn advantage in favor of the Puppies. They should be able to get back control at this point, especially if Crandop's doing the work he's been doing so far. He's taken out a D-Mech, and now he's also taken out Danny after, of course, removing Brigitte. So there's a lot of work being done here as Track's going to take out Gustav as well. Another lost fight for young and beautiful, and they're getting close to matching the time bank of Bazooka Puppies.
Yep, and Puppy's got a few ults online to play with too. That Transcendence and the Nano Boost is there, so they can try again. I think the problem was last time round, and the reason why Graceful burnt his ultimate so early on was because Crandop got Nano Boosted at the start with the intent of having him sustain the whole of that duration of Nano Boost, then burning his ult and basically playing the ultimate disruptor for Young and Beautiful on that push in. But because he got hacked immediately despite being Nano Boosted, he couldn't pop his ult, and Young and Beautiful were like, well, this is a super easy focus down here, have a Discord orb, and we're going to melt your health bar before you can use that Primal Rage.
Here's the Nano Cranks. He's been EMP'd immediately after getting Nano Boosted, so he's got all that damage resistance and damage amplification, but nothing to do with it. And now he's finally unleashed onto the back line. Will knock the Lucio away, but won't get the kill as Danny comes in, rams free into the corner, and guns them down with the mech. Young and Beautiful have got this fight in the bag, but they need to start converting it to progress on the points.
You say he was unleashed, it was more like a horse who just didn't want to come out of the stables today. He came out super slow, didn't get any kills, got maybe one hit down and got melted, but trapped with an EMP on top.
Nice attempt there. I like what Gustav was trying to do with the right click and move him away from himself to keep himself unaffected by the EMP. Will still get caught out as the rest of Bazooka Puppies move in and start to maintain control again. Danny getting D-Mech, Sooner going down, and Crandrop comes in for cleanup duty on the Winston again. Bazooka Puppies taking Young and Beautiful down to 2 minutes in the time bank.
That's it, back in way off here as well. That Diva once again. Might have Ding caught out here as well. He went back in for a bit of a trade-off. I think he wanted to get picked off, and he was just trying to make sure that health pack was taken away, so Ding didn't have an opportunity to fall back onto that and save the armor he'd been given by the Brigitte. But now they're in a position where there's 1 minute and 45 left on the clock. Young and Beautiful in that spot where maybe they lose this next map. And let's not forget, Young and Beautiful won the map that was picked by them. They're about to lose the map that has been picked by Bazooka Puppies if this carries on this way. Going into the fourth map, it'll be Young and Beautiful's pick, so potentially we have a 5-game series in our hands here, just like last week.
Goes the distance, would do the series justice. It's been very back and forth so far. Tonic fighting with Crandop on that bridge, has been removed from it, but he has those jump jets. He's going to get back in position. Cranks takes out Ding, then gets the Nano Boost, follows up with the Sooner. Look at this, Bazooka Puppies going for another one. Danny getting D-Mech by Saab. It's another one fight, and we're getting into that 1 minute threshold. It's not looking good for Bazooka Puppies, because even if they finish this map in overtime, Bazooka Puppies going to have 3 minutes to go ahead and just capture a third of point A. This is looking dire for Young and Beautiful on this map.
There was a nice setup before when it came down to it with the whole high ground thing coming out of Bazooka Puppies. And for Young and Beautiful, it was about 1 minute and 45 until they kind of crumbled in their defense.
Yep.
You've effectively got to double that time and hold for it, like you're saying, which makes things really, really tough. But still, Young and Beautiful still going to persevere and see if they can make this work for them. 40 seconds on the clock. This may well be their final fight. They've got the EMP, and there it is.
Going to use it to shut things down. Nice Transcendence coming from Sab to mitigate the effects of that EMP. Keep everyone topped up while they can't defend themselves. Going to recall before his hack. Track does not want to be left isolated over there, unable to get back to his team. They're on the point still. Crandop denies the long range hack by dropping down that bubble. keep himself with that mobility. In the bio grenade, cracks, he's been hacked up, but can they kill him? Graceful was there to finish it off. Young and Beautiful need to move in and do something with this, because like I said, if it hits overtime, it's not looking good for them. Ding takes out Crown Drop. The self-destruct comes in and clears out Danny. Tonic with another kill, but Danny's able to get there. Meta on the point with the healing application. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, make it 1. That's a draw at minimum for Young and Beautiful. They cannot get anything better than that from this matchup now. Graceful comes in and cleans up. They're going to complete here, but Dez, it's a bittersweet cap.
It is. That means 3 minutes and 7 seconds for Bazooka Puppiez only to have the opportunity of winning this map. If you have more than 0 seconds left, you get a second attempt, but in this case, that time back hits 0. It's only Puppies who get to have another go, and based on how the last attack went, well, Young and Beautiful, they've got to pick out something heroic here to turn this one in their favor.
Very likely we go into our final map with a 2-1 scoreline in favor of Bazooka Puppiez, but there's also the opportunity we go in with a 1-1. Like, it is not out of the realm of possibility for Young and Beautiful to hold this for the full 3 minutes, 7 seconds. It can happen.
We've seen teams
just
do full holds.
Improbable.
Yeah, we've seen teams do full holds on things like Horizon with 4 or 5 minutes in the bank. We've seen Giganti complete maps with 1 minute in the bank. These things happen, and you just don't know what it can boil down to when Young and Beautiful have their backs against the wall in this case. Puppies, though, they'll be relishing the opportunity to take away a second map, not just 1 map, but 2 in a whole series, and potentially actually win themselves a series.
Getting closer and closer, and we talked about how momentum could play into it, especially when you've had such a, as a team, not necessarily on an individual basis, you've had quite a disheartening season. I don't think it's out of order to say that.
For both teams, it's been pretty disheartening.
Ultimately,
overall.
Yeah, and so I think the mental aspect of this game could play massively. If you start getting a lead with the maps and you go, cool, we just need to win this map, that's it, we got it. Right, look at the advantage we have moving into this final round of Hanamura. We can walk away and have a 2-1 scoreline in this series for the first time this season. And then we will just have to win 1 more map, and we can get the series win as well.
Well, let's see what they choose to roll out with. So far, it's just your kind of standard Sombra dive setup once again. We've seen it a few times today. Young and Beautiful. Rolling out with the monkey goats, as we've been calling it, where you're putting the Winston in place of the Reinhardt. Otherwise, everything's pretty samey for the most part. They're chasing them all the way back to spawn, though, because they found Saab already.
Ding getting the pick on Saab as well. We'll burn more of that time bank, and every second is going to count for Young and Beautiful here. Those picks converted into time, it's going to mean the world to them.
Ultimates is the big one here as well, because for the attacking side, when you've got 3 minutes on side, you can build up a few ults very easily. They've gone back and changed that already. Look, they've crammed up now across onto the normal standard Rhine. They're just going normal goats, and this does do pretty well into monkey goats. They can force the aggression here and go for a point push straight away.
It's the benefits of having that point A spawn. It just means you're closer to spawn room, you can make changes with less penalty than your opponents can, who are just further away. They're filtering into that small room. They want to stay together and out of the line of sight of people like Ding, who can just pepper them from afar. Going to transition across that platform now and move close to the spawn point. And look at the positioning from Ding. He's very conscious of this. He wants to keep away from the action as much as possible, so he can't get aggressed on easier. So by playing at the back there, he still has sightlines, and he's able to support his team without getting caught out.
That's exactly it. And the Warriors, they just charge to the point like they're doing now, managed to get onto in the back line. So he's trying to play very carefully right now, but it's Saab who brings out the Transcendence first.
Ding's got one ready to go. He's going to pop it, layer it on top. Here's an opportunity for Young and Beautiful to play more aggressive, knowing they have the healing advantage. Sound Barrier comes in to try and fight the effects of that Graviton Surge. Bazooka Puppiez not on the point yet. Young and Beautiful doing a good job of playing around this choke point until Track takes out Tonic. That first pick and the distance he has to travel back from the spawn room, it's going to be huge for Bazooka Puppiez as they press forward on the assault, unable to get any further kills for the time being. Sooner looking to do the Lord's work as he takes out Cranks. Danny's on there with a self-destruct. Mete already finds Danny after he's D-Mech, but no one's going to go down to the Young and Beautiful attempt, as Sooner is going to be the one to force that out early on Mete. Track comes in, cleans up Graceful. Graceful finding the kill onto Crandall before that happened. Still being contested. 1 minute remaining. Bazooka Puppiez getting cleared out. Dez, this is looking like it could end up as a draw.
Sooner doing a lot of work there as well, getting a couple of pickoffs just about 20 seconds before the end.
Cave! The monkey is relentless coming out here from Young and Beautiful. Will not give them any.
The big thing coming through here for Bazooka Puppiez is the charge rate on that ultimate from Saab. That's now 100%. That Transcendence is online. Ding is still sat at 60. He will get it pretty quick in these fights, but it's definitely going to be a pinch for them. And Graceful, he's gone across the Doomfist because after he died, he wanted to get back to that point nice and quick. So they are missing the Brigitte here. That doesn't mean they can't stop this, but it's going to be tough unless they can get a really nice pick off with Graceful early on.
One final fight and a potential one-shot shatter, only finding one. Danny getting D-Max and Cranks hasn't got the kill yet. There's the Transcendence coming out from Bazooka Puppiez, keeps them all alive. Someone just got yeeted off the point. I believe it was a Winston who got pinned somewhere at a weird angle. But there's the Transcendence from Ding. Young and Beautiful keeping him topped up. 5v5, 10 seconds remain. It's going to be done in overtime. Graceful has one-shot potential if he can land it. He's getting close to the ult himself. Track taking out Ding. There's the uppercut on the Cranks, goes in with the seismic slam, unable to follow up. Gustav getting a D-mech. Tonic there to clean him up. Crandop doing it. Graceful takes out Cranks with that Doomfist sound barrier coming in. Young and beautiful. Like you said, Des, they've gone ahead and forced the draw. One map will decide it all.
You know what? It's a bit of a blessing in disguise in the weird way. Cave just zipping around this point, doing what he can, but he will get shut down as well. No one else can touch. That draw comes through, which basically turns this series into a best of 3. Both teams are 1-on-1. The winner of the next map takes it all. My biggest worry is that, again, it's Bazooka Puppiez map pick, because when you draw, it's the person who picked that map that then gets to pick the next one as well. And okay, yes, we broke the curse. This map didn't go Bazooka Puppiez' way, despite it being their pick. But things can change. Salt can be a difficult one, and again, the first and third map in the series are always the weird ones because of the breaks and the time to coach and have a think. It's that fourth map which can really become crunch time.
Is it more, in a weird way, is it more advantageous to draw the third map? Because you still get to retain the map choice for the fourth map, right? And even if you were to, then you'd have to win the fourth map, right?
It's
and then it forces out the fifth map. You're going to play an extra map.
Exactly.
But you're not going to have a choice. It's predetermined. You're just giving away control of map selection. This could actually be quite big for Bazooka Puppiez moving into map number 4, which of course be an escort map. Before we do that, we're going to have a quick break. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders. We're in the final map of this series. Young and Beautiful versus Bazooka Puppiez. Map number 3 ended in a draw, so it's all going to come down to Escort. What map they're going to pick still needs to be determined as, well, it's Bazooka Puppiez' choice. And we had a little quick talk about how that could be advantageous for Puppiez.
Absolutely comes down to their pick ultimately. So by drawing that last map, Young and Beautiful may have just dug themselves an early grave. And that's not to say that going into the 5th map, it would have changed anything. We did see how Control went earlier on, and it was a very close affair. So it could have gone either way. But this is going to be Young and Beautiful's pick coming, Bazooka Puppiez' pick coming into this final map. Dorado is going to be their choice. Now, again, one of those maps where we've seen some different picks. We've seen Widowmakers get brought out on second point. We've seen Farahs, and in fact, Track was one of those Widowmaker players that we're speaking about. So let's see if they do choose to employ it coming through into that second point of the map.
Track is still in the roster this time around.
You're going to change him out at half-time, right?
Change him out at half-time, yep.
Yeah.
At half-time change up, and he's still in the roster for this time, so he's going to be playing out. You can make in-series and substitutions in Contenders. You couldn't do it in World Cup.
I thought you couldn't before. My bad.
You could just basically say, I want to play this guy right now.
Oh, there you go. Today I learned something. I'm going to talk to you about GOATs all day long. When it comes to changing out players in the middle of a series, it's a very different story.
Anyway, what we know is Track now still in the roster, so that option of Widowmaker is still available for them. We saw him pop off in the opening highlights. He was popping off with that Widowmaker.
A bit of a mistake on my part there. I thought Bazooka Puppiez were the ones on defense rolling out with triple DPS, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but they're going to change things up anyway. Looks like it's going to be the standard go-to, and why not? Why, when you have a Widowmaker on your side, would you not play it? I mean, Krauts can play Farah, Genji, and Doomfist so well. Why not give him a run out on that Farah?
It's also a double sniper composition. Legday going very low without the heals there. Going to step back into the spawn room, being denied that early entrance he wanted.
Oh, double projectile.
They're going to be kept inside as Track changing over to that Junkrat because they're hiding in this area. They just want to stall the payloads using the confined spaces. You put a Junkrat in there with the ricochet bombs, they're just going to get shredded. And I think Young and Beautiful have identified that, so they've conceded that ground, but not before taking Crown Drop with them.
Yep, nice big trade. Meta gets teammates as well. I imagine that's probably going to be a go back to spawn, change, and then come back out again, or try and throw yourself off the edge. Take your pick. We won't be getting that one back anytime soon, I don't imagine. More a bit of a stall on the slowdown now. Danny just taking free fire. Cranks is like, cheers for the free ult charge, my man.
I don't think he realised that he'd been spotted and he was just waiting there until the rocket hit him on the head. He's like, oh, okay, no, they know where I am. Graceful, very, very aggressive. Very open to being taken out here. He's not careful. Nicely positioned with the barrage down on top. Will only find one. Danny was there to stop it afterwards. Looking to drop something from Mete. Does to the back of all of them. Soon he's going to clean him up afterwards. This is very scrappy from Bazooka Puppiez, and it's not very coordinated.
Yeah, but Track got rid of both tanks there as well, getting the DMAC and the main tank, which should mean that they should be able to push forward here out of the gate and make something happen. You're against two supports, man. Come on.
Come on!
And
Ding's going to be taken out by Cranks. And Suna, with the tracking in the sky, going to take him out. So Suna's still there, stalling out. Time Bank's being burnt. This K's going to bring Cranks back from the grave. Track, of course, taking out Suna, who's now back onto the Widowmaker. And it's time for him to get some more footage for his highlight reel.
It absolutely is. And to be fair to Suna as well, being stalled out there, or fair to Bazooka Puppiez, him being the last one to die, one of the slowest characters in the game. Won't be too surprised if Gustav had gone back to booster back to point. You can see him there on the right-hand side, just through the gateway, bringing the Zarya with him. She is now back at the point.
Gustav's taxi service, probably going to get a tip from Suna as well.
Exactly, but at least the ults are online here, and they're already burning them out.
Trying to get that angle. Track not playing high. Crandrop using the nano boost, but he's not getting any damage out of it. I think it was the defensive one. Just trying to clear some space. He dives into the back. He's found himself a race from the back line. That was a slip. Ding in the room. He's woken up from his nap now. Okay, doing the resurrection out on the side. Self-destruct up in the sky. Where's the shield to keep him alive? They play around the terrain. Instead, it's still an option for them. Frank's working towards that barrage sooner. He spotted him. He just needs to get one more rocket. There you go. He realized his mistake and fired in another one just to make sure. But now he's taking a lot of damage himself. Ding going to take him out of the sky with those hands and those orbs. Young and Beautiful sitting around market. Track's about to get the wall hacks online for himself and really open up this map.
There you go, managed to at least get the defense on the go now. Staging it, not so much a comeback, but at least holding Bazooka Puppiez back. We're already down to a minute and a half remaining, and Bazooka Puppiez have been held so far back. Even Track with the ultimates online, they're still finding themselves being forced all the way back to spawn. I imagine we're going to see a change start coming through here potentially, because Crandop, he's just gone across onto that Ryan. There we go, Track is switching off as well. Cave will likely follow shortly. Onto the Lucio, we're going GOATs, boys.
Saab's going to really put some nano boost into this composition and really build up that ult charge a lot quicker for one of these tanks, I imagine. Probably going to be Crown Drop or potentially Track if he can move in there with that Zarya and get some energy behind him before that gets triggered. but the Nano Boost is going to be a big tool here for Bazooka Puppiez to rely on, because Young and Beautiful just have an ult advantage. There's the Transcendence, keep them all up. He's going on to Reinhardt, Crandock building the ult charge quicker, 65%. Let's get towards that shadow, buddy. Let's start getting some people on the floor. Otherwise, this might be the end of the map for you and the end of the series. Graviton Surge pulls them all together. Nice clean up there from Young and Beautiful. They're just abusing ultimate advantage, and Bazooka Puppiez with 30 seconds left do not have a lot left in the tank.
There's a bit of a minor bugbear with both Mete and Danny in this series. I don't think I've seen a single grab being eaten. Both of them are paying a lot more attention to the main front line of the fight. There was one?
One on Numbani.
All right, one on Numbani, but outside of that, haven't seen too many. It feels like a lot of the time the focus is on the front line of the fight rather than on the enemy Zarya. And when you know, again, if you're ult tracking, you should know this, and there are definitely capable ult trackers on both sides. You should know what they've got online and be able to be looking out for that to eat it.
4, 3, 2, self-destruct, CC as well, won't get it, and they jumped in, force out overtime. Here comes Bazooka Puppiez with an ult of their own. No one being caught out, but they have to stay on the payload now, and they have to keep themselves alive. Cracks going down to Ding. Tonic open up on Sad, that's it, they have a 2-man advantage. Track bringing it back, but it's not enough. Young and Beautiful and Bazooka Puppiez run right here, right now.
Looks like Bazooka Puppiez may well end up being restricted to just 1 point in this series as well, because with how short that push was, I fancy Young and Beautiful to take this series now and close it out. Again, this kind of became a best of 3 once that last map was drawn. All it takes here is for Young and Beautiful to get to the end and they complete this series and take their first series as well, although albeit not their first map of all the Contenders.
This is entirely doable. For both teams, definitely.
Winnable.
Winnable, not win-tradable.
Win-tradable.
Young and Beautiful going to be going onto that offense, and they're eyeing up a similar composition to what Bazooka Puppiez initially ran with. Graceful, big Pharah player, seen it across this season, even in this series as well on Numbani. It's an option for him. They want some more damage, some more bang for their buck.
Let's not forget as well, Graceful is the OG flex player here in Europe. He's played all roles in a variety of teams. He's been a support player, he's been a tank player, now he's a DPS player, you name it. This guy's very happy to play whatever you want to put him on, essentially.
Good option to have in your team if you want some versatility and you're not quite sure what to do with a player. Can you learn this? Can you play this, Graceful? Probably. Give me a week. All right, we'll do it.
Go away and hard grind. I remember actually speaking to Solheim. I got to say about the name Solheim, I don't know why. It always makes me think of like a Nordic forge or something that's making gold.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the hints. There probably is some hint of, like, where's Solheim from, Des? You would know this.
I don't know him that well.
I think he's from Denmark, isn't he?
No idea. I don't believe so.
Oh, okay, well, whatever. He's probably from the Nordic region. A lot of our best players are.
Either way, he was basically explaining to me how a few of these players were grinding like 6-7 hours of solo queue a day as well. But with scrims going on as well, they were definitely being serious about it, and Graceful was one of them. Great time to show off here as well and show that you are this flexible player that can be an excellent DPS when required too.
Now it begins. Getting at the end potentially for Bazooka Puppiez run. They're going to take the fight straight to Young and Beautiful, force them back into the spawn room, and going to keep themselves moving away. Want to keep it payload progress denied as much as possible. 3 minutes 40, so 20 seconds already been burned. They're having to deal with Graceful up in the sky, peppering rockets on them, separating the fight with concussive blast. As he's building up towards that barrage, and he could just create such an advantage for his team being able to disperse that much damage. They're trying to cover by using the building. This was done against them when they actually used the same strategy. So they're just going to pepper rockets into the room and rely on splash damage. Even with that many targets getting affected, it's obviously going to build up the ult. I don't think he wants to move into the room and do that as they emerge out, but as they're coming out, he's going to be denied that by Track, taking him out of the sky after most of the rockets being eaten by Mete. So Young and Beautiful might have to change this one up. This Track is building towards that Graviton Surge, and Graceful doesn't have an ult to keep him on the far.
But Suna does have that EMP, which is the big one for them they'll be looking for. So yes, Graceful, clearly a bit impatient, the curse of the Q key when it comes to being a Pharah player, I think. He didn't want to wait for that EMP to be online. Now it is there. They could have really done with the barrage. Not that it matters too much, they're going to still try and make a play with what they've got. If they can get a good EMP down here, they only have to win one more fight afterwards, and they've already burnt the sound barrier. This is a great time. There we go.
EMP comes in, shuts down any shielding you possibly wanted to have. Nice reactionary move from Young and Beautiful. Let's see what they can do with it. Let's convert this into some mileage and get that payload moving. Taking Danny off the point. Sorry, though, taking Mete off the point should give you a nice option there. Graceful still on the Pharah, working towards that ult. Very close, wants to go through the shield with the melee, can't quite get it. Ding's there to follow up on track, so no more protective barriers for Frandrock. He's holding these angles quite well to deny the damage, but when Ding comes from the flank, there's not much you can do about it.
They do finally manage to make it work. Quite funny seeing a Pharah and a Ryan face off, and he's like, no, don't come through the shield.
It's even funnier watching Graceful go for the melee instead, just like he's dropping down low enough to hit the shield, meleeing, then pushing boosters to get out of swing range, and then going in again.
That's like a bird trying to peck at a tiger or something. You know, it's just going to bite back with that 75 damage cleave with the Reinhardt as well. But speaking of the cleave, look at the ultimates online for Bazooka Puppiez. They've got a nice Earth Shatter there to layer across the team along with that Graviton Surge. Into the final 1 minute 45, but also into the last few meters where Young and Beautiful, if they win,
Shadow through the payload.
Series.
How many are affected? Tonic, he's been isolated and charged down to protect the barrier and found up. Nicely timed. Here's the EMP and look at the barrage rain down from above. Everyone's playing around the terrain. There was protection going up into the sky there. Danny getting there to make sure nothing goes on. They're going to have to ground themselves. There's the self-destruct over the top. Graviton Surge pulling no one. They're not on the point to contest it. They've still got 1 minute 20 before they have to be stuck and glued to that payload. Sound barrier being used by Cave. Sooner hasn't got the EMP to cancel this one out, unfortunately. Saab taking out Tonic. This is Young and Beautiful in retreat. They retain control. 1 minute 10 remaining. Bazooka Puppiez are so close to pulling off this defense.
Tonic did die, 99% ult charge, so if he'd had that online, they probably could have sustained a bit longer for Graceful to get the barrage and go from there, but this still works for them. That barrage is about to come back online. Danny with the self-destruct as well. They don't have the Graviton Surge to combo with, which is so commonly what we see from teams here in Europe, but they'll still be relying on it to create the space for them, so they can have the Winston or the Farah capitalize on it and go for the win.
Grab your umbrellas, Bazooka Puppiez. There's going to be another shower coming in. Graceful being the one who's got the barrage available, drops down low, wants to reposition, self-destruct will catch track, protect the barrier a little bit missed time. Cave, as he tries to fade into cover, will get swiped out by those rockets. Tonic also finding cracks. This is a man advantage for Young and Beautiful. Crown Drop trying to bring it back. He gets down the Earth Shatter. He gets a D-Mech and a kill. Don't make that 2 as he takes out Sooner as well. Bazooka Puppiez are so close to winning this one. They have 15 more seconds to burn. Track has gone over to the Widowmaker.
Crandop may have just flat out won that with that Earth Shatter as well. They get Graceful. Ding has gone down as well in the dying 10 seconds. They can take this series away for it.
Charge is going to find anyone, but it is still clearing more space for the rest of Bazooka Puppiez to come in. They're trying to burn down, get meaty bodies on the point as Tonic moves in. There's the EMP from Sooner. Transcendence comes in outside of the range. Will top everyone up. Track's on the back line with the Widowmaker. He gets the D-Mech, removing Danny from there. Crandrop taking him out afterwards. Gets one dink. Graceful on a Widowmaker of his own. Finds Cranks. They're just trying to throw whatever they can at this map. Overtime is in effect. Mete finds Tonic. Track looking for airplay. Finds Sooner. What are you going to do with that one? The Widow war between Graceful and Track could actually decide it all if they just peek far enough. Look at the weave. He's got the eyesights. He's got the wall hacks to know what's going on. Won't be able to find the kill. He's trying to take him out of the sky. Sound barrier comes in. Both overtime moves down so fast they step off the point.
Sooner's back onto the Traitor as well, trying to make stuff happen. Bazooka Puppiez have got the numbers on the point. Out comes the Primal Rage, but they've got to stick on the point here, Tridd. 1 second off it. We'll give it away.
Oh, they're so close to losing. Self-destruct goes up into the sky. Ding finds Track. Mete with the self-destruct. They step off the point. They did not have enough time. Bazooka Puppiez win their first map and their first series as well. Very close.
In the same series.
Side.
What can I say? What a great time to win a map, to then turn it into a series, win a great defense as well. I've missed seeing Widow duels. Even though they didn't kill each other, it was the tension between the two that makes it so fun. It was so unfair though,
because Track had his ultimate online, so he could see where Graceful was moving, so he did have a slight edge.
Graceful still didn't die, so fair play to Graceful for that one.
I did also admire it. We also saw him go for I think it was the Lucio in the air for some reason. He did go for the headshot to try and deny the sound barrier, but he did miss it. It's very mobile, unfortunately. That is the series over. And of course, it's Bazooka Puppiez. They're picking up the wins. They guarantee themselves 5th place. That is Young and Beautiful, obviously finishing the season in 6th. We're going to throw it over to our analyst desk after a quick break.